Hello, hello. This is Samara, your feminist alchemist, and welcome to Grounding into Gaia episode. Ooh, are we on episode 4? I think it's 4. Yes. These readings are timeless and they do not have to be watched in order. I just describe a number to them for my Capricorn moon organizational purposes. But feel free to watch them in any order that you like, and when they come to you, then just trust that there is a message there for you. These are general / collective readings and messages, so not everything may apply to you. Take whatever strikes a chord with you, whatever resonates with you, and the rest send away with gratitude to whoever else in the collective needs to hear that message at this time. I'm trying things a little bit differently this month because for the first half of Grounding into Gaia, usually I'm just talking. So I figure you don't need to look at my empty desk. And my guides always encourage me to try out things in different ways to see what's the best for me energetically as well, so that I can continue to create content with a full reserve of energy to deliver messages to you. If you are feeling this video, feel free to give it a like, a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the Feminist Alchemist channel, which helps me connect to your energy better, and click the notification bell to be notified when I upload. So this month's Grounding into Gaia, I am bringing messages from the Master Crystal Deva of Chrysoprase. Chrysoprase is a very special crystal in itself, as it holds frequencies, light energy from the yellow ray, the white ray, and the green ray. So we're talking about crown chakra, heart chakra, and solar plexus chakra. And the Chrysoprase came to me in a meditation to be brought to light this month in Grounding into Gaia because of its ability to negate and counteract fear, and its encouragement for fearless movement, and not fearless movement from risk-taking per se or reckless behavior, but it's from a place where your actions are filtered through or inspired by your higher spiritual self, your connection to the divine, the connection to your higher guides through your crown, and that connection to your innate ability to know what feels right to your soul, filtering it through your heart chakra. So in one of the books that I referred to in preparation, we talk about Chrysoprase being a crown, heart, and solar plexus working in harmony to direct life in a fearless manner due to the presence of spirit, unconditional love, and understanding of the self without ego. So I understand it as a combining your personal power with passion, following your heart, and with the knowing, like the trust in the divine, all working together. And Chrysoprase is a very active stone. It's about, just do it. Which a lot of us, I feel at this time it's a necessary. There comes a time when we filter through rational thought, and there also comes a time, especially now, with the rise of more divine feminine sensibilities and reverence of the divine feminine, which is very heavily based on receiving messages. Passive is not negative. It's passive in that you're listening and are divinely inspired, and that leads you to action, right? So I have a channel from the Master Crystal Deva of Chrysoprase. And then this month is not a pick a card reading, but a collective reading from combined energies of Chrysoprase and the fairies, and perhaps they're telling me some other elementals will be present who I'm not personally that acquainted with. But all through the contact with the fairy realm. So I'll do the channel now. I'll let you watch that. Come back with a couple maybe reflections on the thoughts that were raised there, the points that were raised, and then we'll move into the collective reading. We are here. Welcome. And thank you for opening this channel of communication. Many of you who engage with crystals have not fully embraced our vibratory nature, so much so as equivalent of human beings and that which you call living beings. Know that the world around you is alive with energy, frequency, holding patterns, of vibration, holding your intentions, places and sounds and memories. This is why it is important to keep your physical surroundings clear and targeted, if you will, on that which you desire, that which you wish to create, that you wish to perpetuate. And so we come to the topic of fear and that which you hold on to out of fear. These can be things, physical, tangible things. It can also be thoughts and beliefs, behaviors. Because once those fundamental objects and tangible or intangible objects, we will call them, once they are removed, you may feel adrift, afloat, in a sea of uncertainty. Yet in this uncertainty is where the guidance can reach you. How can the divine gift you blessings and guidance if you are not open to receive them? and have not made room for them. For that reason, we come to you today, dear ones, because it is time for you to truly examine the nature of your fears. We sense dread, anticipation of negative experiences. Yet we offer that this experience is simply a clearing of that negativity, that vibration which you hold that does not serve you. Also be aware that it becomes negative and stagnant, stagnating when you ignore the fear and the reasoning behind it, what is at the root of this fear. We don't propose that fear can ever 100% go away. This is not the point of the exercise. It is, as you say, feel the fear and do it anyway, not as a reckless act, but because of the clear connection, movement of energy between your crown, your solar plexus, and your heart. Divinely inspired action in your physical realm with all of the conditioning that you have built through your human experience. Surely, yes, fears will surface. It is about how you navigate these fears and how you embrace your higher self, your sense of self in your physical being, and the innate wisdom of your higher heart. We leave you with that to ponder, and will come through with the assistance of our elemental companions, the fairies, to deliver a message through this vessel. And the cards, which may allow a vocabulary and a verbiage that can reach each of you more intimately. Feel embraced by my yellow, white, and green rays. We are holding you in divine love and esteem. Continue your work internally. We love you. You are loved. You are love. We are complete. So welcome back. This was a very interesting experience for me as well, because I haven't channeled a crystal before, or at least not so directly and intentionally. Like I've had information come from crystals while I'm doing readings and such, but this was really a very pleasant experience for me as well. And that experience in itself was, for me, you know, I'm recording it and I'm sharing it, and there was a lot of anxiety around doing the channel and sitting down to do the channel. So procrastination is one of my favorite ways to exercise my fear response. And that's one of the messages from Chrysoprase that came up. They said, feel the fear and do it anyway. Because fear comes from, I want you to understand that fear can have many intentions behind it. And our ego is just afraid of losing its identity. So we tend to stick to things that we know, even though, you know, we're not necessarily risking our health and safety, right? It's an illusion of fear, or a fear of the ego disappearing, is what they're saying. And the reality is, your ego is always a construct that you can rebuild, reconfigure with work, with intention, and with say discipline. So regular actions. And those are the things that start to be most difficult for us to change, are the things that we've just done every day. They're giving me the example of avoiding conflict as being one of those major areas that people tend to betray themselves in conflict. And they're also showing me if you're quick to lose your temper as well. So both sides of the spectrum of like running headfirst into conflict and also avoiding conflict seem to be ways that we betray our own truth and vibration, because I'm getting the message that that's also a form of fear of losing your footing in your ego's understanding of itself. When someone contradicts your opinion, as if your truth and their truth can't live in the same, you know, on the same planet. But the reality is, we're all living with subtly and sometimes not so subtle differences in perspective and in how we experience the world. So, the other message they would like me to highlight to you, which also comes from the Liquid Crystal Oracle, says, new and creative pathways filtered through the heart under the guidance of your highest parts. Back to the crown, heart, and solar plexus, balancing and connection. I'm going to be going into the collective reading shortly, which then you'll see, you know, it will be on video. You can watch it. And there's a great feeling of really understanding. I already feel the energy opening up of understanding the intentions behind your actions and why you do what you do as the foundation of creating the, you know, next chapter of your life, your next collection of co-creations with spirit. There's a great power of knowing yourself as well, because Chrysoprase has a lot to do with childhood and innocence as well. So I'm going to leave the reflection there so that we can get straight into the collective reading for this month. Hello, welcome to the reading section of this. So if you're familiar with grounding into Gaia in any way, you know the first three that I did, there were pick a card readings, but I've been told by the benevolent beings who are guiding this reading that it's such an overarching theme for the whole collective right now that they would like me to just do one big reading for the collective. Just asking them which deck they would like me to start with. And it's this one here. So messages for the collective, around, well, all furthering the information from the Chrysoprase channel. And of course, we've invited in the elementals and the fairies to assist in the communication of the messages. I'm just checking what's going on here. Okay. So first we have the Queen of Fire, Three of Earth, and the Six of Earth. So this completely, I feel, a very clear continuation from what already was discussed in the channel section. We have the Queen of Fire. What is fire element? Wands. It's about action. It's the Queen of Fire is an interesting balanced figure, because if fire is, you know, who's they? But people generally would associate the fire element with a masculine energy. I don't find any element exclusively masculine or feminine, but in the Queen of Fire, I definitely feel there is a strong guidance of action through intuition. You know, you have the cat here, you have like a third eye and the sun. She is a sure-footed figure in that she knows where her inspiration comes from and does not and feels certainty in that, in moving forward with that, because of the trust between herself and her intuition. They keep pointing me to the cat, right? So having a familiar, having a divine counterpart, having also just something inside of yourself that is confirmation for you. And that's where I also get the Three of Earth, or the Three of Pentacles, is a very co-creative energy as well. And you see the figure planting in the earth, and also with the guidance of this squirrel here, and the little lights of elemental beings, for example, earth magic. And the Six of Earth is, I feel it's reaping what you sow in this instant. Now, some people may have different impressions, especially in the traditional tarot decks, of what the Six of Pentacles means. But there's several, there's the bowl, there's the harvest, there's the sickle, there's the lock and key around the neck, around the heart chakra. But there's also these chains there. And what I'm getting from that is, have you chained yourself to, you know, a certain way of life because it provides harvest, even if the harvest doesn't necessarily feed you, right? In all of the ways that you would like the harvest to feed you, right? We are a fortunate generation in that we have had doors open up to us that allow us to actually pursue a life purpose that is beyond a career or a job, where our work could be part of our soul's work. Most of our parents' generation, and still some societies, cultures, countries, places on earth right now are, people work to survive, and that's about it, right? So even us sitting here being able to feel enough security in our lives to ask for divine guidance, to want to strive for more, to want an expanded life experience, that already is a blessing here. And they also want us to be grateful for where we are now and how far we've come, even if we have not made it to where we feel we really want to be just yet. There is a way of dissipating anxiety when you can express gratitude and also acknowledge everything that you have been able to do in your life, not just everything that you feel still needs to be done. Do we want more than one card? Because I barely shuffled the fairy deck and then this card just flew out. So, go outside. It's time to go outside. Tune into the powerful piece of nature wherever you are and feel at one with your habitat. So, they want this up here. There is a rise energetically in the need to really be in a give and take relationship with the planet and with Earth. And this is also part of the gratitude. And I'm feeling the energy from this Six of Pentacles as well. A feeling of greed and a feeling of... what's the opposite of ungratefulness? There you go. I was looking for the opposite of gratitude. Because not enough of us are really connected to how much the earth is supporting us through life, through living. In the most basic, like you get up in the morning, you can walk, there's food, you can breathe, right? There's moisture on your skin, like things like this, water, plants, plant medicine, right? There is a call to be more firmly connected to nature. Because just as animals, insects, plants respond, like intuitively respond to the changes in the cycles of nature, in the environment. They know when a storm is coming, right? They have different behaviors when they feel the seasons changing. A lot of our discontent in our human form is because we have separated ourselves from the cycles of nature, and therefore don't understand that there are cycles to life, meaning productive cycles and not so productive cycles. And what's a not productive cycle? You may be stagnant or feel stagnant, or because you need to be in a mode of receptivity, which is also a big message from Chrysoprase. Giving and receiving imbalance with the earth, in your relationships, with yourself as well. This provides a certain balance in your spirit that allows you to see and feel more easily the synchronicities, the messages, and the signals that, your guides are your guides. Let's continue to call them that. But you're also receiving messages from your higher self, from yourself, your future self, your intuitive self, your subconscious that knows and is much more calm than you are. Is much more ready to, take small steps forward, knowing that it's leading me in the right direction without, needing to know exactly when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and so forth. So that intellectual and energetic disconnect, it causes us a lot of discord that we try to solve in other ways. And they're giving me the example of other ways, such as addictions, such as external validations of love, hoarding items, clutter, keeping more than we need to keep and such. So judgment in reverse. Seven of Coins. And the Nine of Coins. And they kind of, they wanted me to move that there and put this here. So, and at the bottom you have the Three of Coins again, right? They're also giving me the signal that the Three of Coins is coming up at the basis of everything because of the three chakras that Chrysoprase represents. Because it is, and they're telling me the Three of Pentacles is, let me just show this one. The Three of Pentacles continues to be about co-creation with spirit that may also lead to with other people, but definitely this heart, solar plexus, crown combination is at the center of this message. I've said this many times. It comes up all the time. I mean, I pretty much focus on the North Node and life path and, destiny. And so the Judgment card in reverse is that reoccurring theme that comes up in those type of readings of, are you listening? Are you listening? Are you heeding the call? And when you're not heeding the call, things get louder and maybe more disruptive to your life because you're not hearing what you need to hear. And they're not angry with you. And your higher self is also not angry with you. But it is definitely, if you're supposed to awaken, expand by a certain point, and it's like, they're giving me the example of you go out late to party, you have to work the next day, and you tell your friend, don't let me sleep in. I need to wake up at 6:45. Like, I know I went to bed at 4, but I need to get up at 6:45. And that friend first tries to wake you up gently, but then it's like it's 6:50, it's 6:55, and you're not waking up. So they may, get more aggressive, and you're going to get annoyed with them because you just want to sleep. But the reality is you were supposed to wake up at 6:45, and being a good friend, they're They're going to make sure that you wake up. And this is basically your, your spirit team, your guardian angel, those who you already made the agreements with that they would come into your life to make sure that you hit certain milestones at certain times. That's basically, what they're up to. So they're not angry with you. There's nothing to feel shame about. There's a lot of energy around like regret and feeling behind that's coming up in this reading as well, because of this not heeding the call. I wonder why they wanted me to switch the cards around, but I will feel into it and find out. Okay, so what they're saying here is, because of some of you, some of us, I'm going to include myself in there, need to be, given a good bucket of cold water tossed over us so that we wake up from this dream reality that we've created for ourselves. Is because what we've created is, there's much more potential for what you can create. However, you need to let go of what you've already created, right? And just say, yeah, I did that. I can now do something else. Because these two cards together, the Three of Pentacles, Three of Earth, and the Nine of Coins, is, this person has a watermelon, which represents abundance, has lots of seeds, right? And look at all the pentacles, on the watermelon garden. And this figure is planting the seeds. So there is, remember, in every moment you are creating your reality by your reactions, actions, reactions, thoughts, intentions. And those of you at this reading right now, they're telling me there are some of you who are really like, this is the precipice of what they need you to understand and to really embrace. And embracing that is going to give you the potential to completely change your life. And they also would like me to say that, so this is coming more from the Earth Council than the Fairies at this point. Some of you, your life needs to change, not because what you have already accomplished in life is bad or, there's anything wrong with it, but there is just something that you contracted to do that is well beyond what you're able to see right now. And that is, as I said, blanket and general. Specifics I'm not going to go into. It's the energy of you are meant to be a much bigger being. And while what you've accomplished is already great and noble, and this is why it's so important for you to also have gratitude for where you are and see how far you have come. It's time for you to there's a lot of people out there who it's time for them to take a bigger step forward. And the Seven of Coins with fire at the end here is telling me that a lot of us need to start focusing our energy and eliminating certain possibilities. And also, that I was looking at the Seven of Coins and feeling the Seven of Cups for some reason, but that's fine. They say it's fine. It is part of the message. But in this case, it's like some of what you are burning as fuel, some of what you're putting on the fire is fueling the next dream, is fueling the next chapter. So you don't need to mourn it any more than necessary, right? I'm being encouraged to say, you say, what does this have to do with the title, Grounding into Gaia? Your connection to Earth has a lot more to do with your life purpose than we take into account, right? It is where your Earth chakra is connected to. It's where all the information about what you came here to do is planted. So next, grounding into Gaia, we may end up with the Earth chakra reading, they're telling me. And out here came Gaia, nurturing. Because the Earth has a lot to offer you in terms of wisdom and support. And transmutation, of changing energies, alchemizing, creation. It's the message of, in this co-creating and manifestation, the Earth is always part of it. Our Mother Earth, Earth energy, is always part of the alchemical equation. Summer solstice, radiance. We're going to the gift. And fairies, earth magic. So you see, I do love these things because it's just a signal that we're not imagining. Sometimes you're like, and then at the bottom you have wolf instinct. One of the biggest challenges in creation, co-creation, using intuitive gifts, whether or not you use them professionally, you could use them just for yourself and for your own well-being. We often doubt our connection. And so synchronicities is, especially because we live in such a logically fueled world. Things like synchronicities, like, this fairy card coming out, Gaia coming out, this is called grounding into Gaia. And I said that the Chrysoprase told me that the fairies are going to be part of, they're not coming through in the channel, but they're going to be here in the reading, right? And so we got that confirmation that all of these messages are grounded in wisdom and benevolence, and we can trust them. So what I'm getting from these cards, these are, I'll pull some final cards after this. There really isn't much more to say about it. It's the same thing, because go outside. Gaia is nurturing and the fairies are out there, and there's earth magic. Summer solstice radiance. I'm getting in the middle here as it coming in the center of the reading to say that also the sun element, the fire, the solar plexus chakra. Not everyone is going to, and a lot of people, I shouldn't even say not everyone, they're saying a lot of people are not going to get what you're going to do next. They won't agree with you, they'll doubt you, they'll criticize you, and they would like you to go forward anyway with the trust and knowing that it's divine guidance, right? And how do you also, besides filtering through your heart, what is the other way that you can kind of confirm that your guidance is divine? Synchronicities in your life. Don't take coincidences for granted. So they would like us collectively to be more aware of the signals that nature is sending us, or that the divine sends us via the physical world. And for some of us, for a lot of us, with Chrysoprase and the childhood energy coming up, the fairies and the earth magic is really, if you don't connect with fairies, you can try. The easiest way to try is just to, when you're walking in nature, say, I believe in fairies, or dear fairies, I believe in you. You know, you don't have to ask them to show their presence or anything like that. But just start to believe, like truly believe. When you truly believe that they're there, then it's easier for them to show you that they're there. And that goes for, you know, fairies, dragons, unicorns, goblins, elves, pretty much. That's the first step, right? Is to tell it's a signal to your conscious mind that it can loosen its grip on needing physical evidence to believe in something. And loosening that grip is exactly what will then bring you the physical evidence that these entities are working with you in a positive way. So this reading has been interesting. It's just kind of going where it's going. I feel for a lot of people who are watching this reading that you do have nature spirits who would like you to connect with them. For some of you, it's for career-wise, you know, because you have a gift that they want to help you develop. For some of you, a lot of it is to bolster your self-esteem and your resilience to move forward. And for some of you, hopefully you're getting some sun where you are and you need to sunbathe. Okay, they only want one card in the middle here. So we have our final card, Ascending the Mountain. Keep going forward. Yeah, well, I'm hearing it's like right now there are no clear answers. You're being encouraged to look and not need concrete answers at this point. Because part of the illusion of confusion that you're in is just like the creative process doing what it needs to do. And being still, or just, you know, even though you don't know the destination, you just keep moving forward, led by the crown chakra, heart chakra. So the solar plexus action led by your heart chakra and your crown chakra. That is what is being encouraged at whatever time you come across this video. I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for stopping by and indulging in wherever spirit leads. I wish you all the best and hope that this has enlightened and given you some comfort and insight.